Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that the Lord has made. We are already rejoicing and we're glad in it. Please, for those of you that are coming on, if you're right here with me, I want you to hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know Prophet Ramon, the squad, and the Ramonepreston show. You already know we're live right here from the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Today is Monday. I'm excited because I know this is going to be an extraordinary week for you, for me, for all of us as a community. And I want to help set the trajectory for this week by giving you the game, sharing some information with you that I know will help you properly start, structure, and scale your business, your ministry, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. So if you would be so kind, I want you to hit the like button, hit the share button, and then I want you to just tag some family members and friends and let them know they need to get on, because we have an amazing discussion that we are going to participate in and engage in. And I know it's going to bless your life. It's going to bless what you do in ministry, in business, in your finances, in your wealth building. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ramonepreston show. Just in case you don't know, now I'm going to let you know, I'm your host, Ramonepreston. And every Monday through Friday, we show up on this show to give you information that is strategically and specifically designed to help you start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. Which, by the way, all the information that I share with you on this show is a direct extension of my life. It's a direct extension of what I live, and it's an extension of my personal playbook that I teach and coach our clients on through our coaching program, our online training program, and we service our clients through our business consulting group. So everything that you hear from me on this show, these are things that we live. These are things that we know work. And I really wouldn't even be sharing that with you if I didn't live it and or if I didn't know it worked. All right. So you can be assured that what you hear me talking about with regard to business, entrepreneurship, tax strategies, financial literacy, real estate investing, it's information that I'm living. It's information that I have practiced, that has been proven to work, and we're packaging it in ways to make it accessible and easy to you. So just in case you missed the show Friday, before the weekend, we were talking about the 5 steps to financial freedom. And I showed you that each of these 5 steps are essential to not just your financial freedom, but these 5 steps are actually essential to you building wealth. Meaning that if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to get the bag and be well off, if you want to put yourself and your family in a position where y'all ain't struggling, you're going to have to at some point execute all 5 of the steps that I teach as my 5-step wealth building system. So if you're a part of our blueprint game plan, you already know about the 5 steps. If you're not a part of the blueprint game plan, we are making that blueprint game plan available to you today. We actually have an amazing new offer because we have a blueprint game plan that we have connected our weekly coaching calls to. So you can actually be a part of the blueprint game plan, which is our online training, and participate in our weekly coaching sessions that we host every Monday, like today, at 5 o'clock. So I'll make that offer to you later at the end of the show. But for now, I want to at least walk you through the 5 steps again, just in case for some reason you didn't get the 5 steps. Now, each of these 5 steps are a part of our blueprint game plan. We actually created a blueprint game plan as a 5-step wealth building system, because if you're going to get financially free, if you're going to build wealth, excuse me, if you're going to be a millionaire, if you're going to get the bag, at some point, you're going to have to, trust me on this, At some point, you're going to have to, and I'm getting ready to pull it up. I should have had it pulled up before the show, but I was too busy running my mouth. But there it is. Whoop, there it is. So at some point, if you're going to get wealthy, if you're going to become a millionaire, if you're going to get to the next level in your business, you're going to have to implement these 5 steps. So let me walk you through each of these 5 steps real quickly, because Friday we left off at step 2. So I'm going to see if I can get through it. So here is step 1. Step 1, if you can see it behind me. Am I still in the screen? Kinda. La. I know I got a guava head, but I want to make sure my guava head is still in the screen. Okay, I see my big old head back there. So step 1, I want you to write it down just in case you don't know the 5 steps to financial freedom. Step 1 is you need to save a minimum of $1,000 up to 1 month of total household expenses for emergency. So let me walk you through this. If you can put $1,000 up, right, that you can save, then make that $1,000 1 month of total household expenses. So if you like, hey, $1,000 ain't nothing to me, well, put up 1 month of total household expenses. So we say 1,000. Most financial experts and gurus will recommend you to save 1,000 as one of the first steps to building wealth, because number one, $1,000 is going to help you psychologically, build the muscle to believe that you can actually save $1,000. And number two, 80% of Americans don't have $1,000 saved. So you're going to be in a 20 percentile of Americans who actually got at least $1,000 saved. Number three, this is the big one here. If you have $1,000, now you have something to work with that you can actually create a documented process with that you can duplicate. In other words, you can go back and track, what did you do to get that $1,000? What did you stop doing to get that $1,000? How many hours did you start studying? How many books did you read? How many sales did you make? How many business opportunities did you create in order to save that $1,000? Because the goal is for you to figure out a process and duplicate that process. Because if you can save $1,000 and you can document in detail what the process was that you went through to save the $1,000, do you think you can save $2? Of course you can save $2. Like if I did something some way and it actually worked, it's kind of like driving to work. If you figure out a new way to drive to work and you try and you get to work 10 minutes sooner, right? You're going to be like, oh, wow, I took this road and got there 10 minutes quicker. Yeah. Then you might go back to your regular route and realize, man, I'm 10 minutes late. So now you go back and say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this route that get me to my job 10 minutes earlier. And now all you got to do is what? Just duplicate the process. And every time you take that route, you're going to get to work 10 minutes earlier. So it's the same way with saving $1,000. All right. Now, I also shared with you a lot of strategies that you need to implement in order to save $1,000. Let's say if you don't have $1,000, you don't really know what you can do to save $1,000. You need to go back and watch the show last week because I talked about several strategies. I probably gave you 7 or 8 different strategies that you can implement. All right. And that was the first step that I gave you for financial freedom. Now I want to get to the second step. And guess what? While I'm talking through this, if you have any questions, feel free to drop the questions in the comments. OK, and make sure you let us know where you're watching us from. So put the city in the comments as well. I was so busy running my mouth when we came on, I forgot to tell you to drop the name of the city in the comments. So whatever city you're watching your boy from, put the city in the comments. And if you got questions on any of these steps, make sure that you put the question in the comments. So step number 2 is for you to pay off consumer debt. Can you see that behind me? Pay off, y'all excuse me, I'm trying to get this water in my system. Good God. It seems like every time I get in front of the lights, my throat be like, not my throat, my throat. Every time I get in front of the lights, I don't know if it's the heat and the rays from the light that start percolating in my throat. My throat start acting up, and I be like, no, dog, not right now. I got a show to do, right? So step number 2 is for you to pay off all consumer debt. Now, I really want you to pay attention to the word consumer, because this is one of the misnomers or like misconceptions that a lot of people have, right? A lot of people have a misconception about debt, okay? Because if you listen to the Dave Ramseys of this world, or, you know, maybe some pastor told you that debt is demonic and it ain't good. Well, what kind of debt are they referring to? They may feel like all debt is bad debt. Well, to each his own. You got to decide what you're going to believe and what you're going to live by and what you're going to build your financial practices around. I personally don't believe all debt is bad debt. I believe that there are 2 types of debt. And depending on the type of debt that you get can determine if that debt is going to be an asset or create more assets or become a liability or create more liabilities. It just depends on how you see it. So if you're able to save $1,000, the next step you want to take is what? Start paying off your consumer debt. Now there's a few reasons why I want step 2 to be this, and there are a lot of other reasons why other people want it to be the next step. So you save $1,000. Once you save that $1,000 or 1 month of total household expenses, you want to start now to go to paying off your consumer debt. Now, by the time you save $1,000, or if you are in a position now to save $1,000, you should already have some type of process for making money. You should already have a muscle built to make money. Anybody that's saving $1,000, they know, number one, know how to make money, and they know how to save money. Now it's just a matter of just continuing to duplicate that. But we're not going to duplicate it to try to put $100,000 up right now, because we want to pay off the debt. Watch what I'm getting ready to say. The key word is consumer. We want to pay off the debt that's consuming our what? Our income. Remember, I told you your income is by far one of your greatest wealth building tools. Can we all agree on that? So if you're listening to me, if you have income coming in, that is by far one of your greatest wealth building tools. So let's take a look at it. You might be on a fixed income, but isn't that income? You might be getting Social Security. You might be getting government assistance. You might be getting retirement. It's income. You might be working on a job. You might have a side hustle. If you got money coming in, that money that's coming in is called what? Income. Now, the reason why most people cannot keep the money they have coming in, does anybody know the answer to that? The reason why most people can't keep the money they got coming in is because they have things consuming that income. Something is consuming it. So if you make $1,000 a month and you can't keep $1,000 a month, something is consuming that income. So while you're learning to duplicate step 1, which was to save $1,000, but you want to duplicate it to learn how to create more income, you now have to go to step 2 and simultaneously learn how to take the debt that's consuming your income and eliminate it, move it out of the way. Have you ever thought about, like, I don't know if y'all do the math on it, but I tell y'all all the time that I used to have like probably 50 credit cards, definitely close to 50 credit cards. And I was well over $100,000 just in credit card debt, well over $100,000. Okay. But here's the thing. I was probably spending maybe $2,500 a month just in credit card bills. To some people that's unimaginable, but my credit cards were costing me $2,500 a month. Think about that. So every year, I was easily spending $30,000 on credit cards every year. Now, you might not have that much credit card debt, but that $15 a month payment here, that $25 a month payment here, that $48 a month payment here, all of those payments add up. And what are those payments actually doing? They're consuming your income. So that's why I said we want to pay off all consumer debt. Me personally, I'm not thinking about Sallie Mae. I'm not thinking about student loans. I'm not thinking about a mortgage. I'm just thinking about the stuff that's consuming your income so that you can start pushing that income back in your pockets. So you need to start looking at all the bills that you're paying and see how many of the bills that you pay each month are actually bills that are tied to consumer debt. And you need to, A, figure out new ways to increase your income, but as you increase your income, push it to moving the things that are consuming your income. Because if you're spending $500 a month on debt or bills that are just consuming your income that you can eliminate, think about if you just move that $500 from the debt side of the financial statement to the income side of the financial statement. Now you got more money you can save. Imagine if you were actually able to save all the money you spend on car payments, on loans, on advances, payday loan companies, hard money lenders, credit cards, HELOCs, or whatever type of loans or financial obligations you have. Imagine if you added all that money up every month and that money was no longer going to things that were consuming your income. Now you got more income. That's why I always tell people, you don't have a debt problem or a credit repair problem like you have an income problem. Because if you fix your income, what you gonna fix? You're gonna fix the debt. You're gonna fix the credit because your income is going to help you fix those things. So step 2 in your financial freedom plan is to pay off all consumer debt. And again, we're not talking about debt that is consuming your income, but it's just too big of an issue for you to tackle right now. Like a mortgage. If you got a mortgage, it's $100,000 or $200,000. We're not looking at trying to pay that off right now. If you got student loans, 40, 50, 60 grand, we ain't gonna work on trying to pay all that off right now. What we want to do is just make sure that the income we got coming in is not all going to credit cards and car notes and payday loans and all these advance companies. We need that income back in our hands. So step 2 is to pay off all consumer debt. So there are 2 strategies you can use. And I give you this breakdown. Number 1, you can use the snowball strategy. Dave Ramsey is big on that, the debt snowball strategy, or the avalanche strategy to pay off all your consumer debt. So the avalanche strategy is like, in most cases, you just going for like the highest interest rate. But here's the problem. If you're going for the highest interest rate, you might have a $300 credit card that's like a 40% interest rate. Or let's say a 40% interest rate. But then you got a $2,000 credit card. Let's say if you got a $300 First Premier credit card. It's like a real cheap credit card, $300. When you get it, they're gonna take $75. You really only got $225, right? So that's a 30-something% interest rate. But it's only $2-something you owe. But you paying like $25 a month. But then you got like a Capital One for like $12.50, and it's like a 19% interest rate. It might even be 29, 24, 25, a little lower. The avalanche strategy may say just pay off the highest interest rate, but guess what? You might just want to pay off the lowest amount, the snowball strategy. A snowball is like something that starts small and gets bigger. So you just want to look at that $200 credit card. Let me go and knock that out. You might have a $200 bill. You just knock that $200 bill out. Why? Because you're trying to get them small wins. But again, if you're moving the income that you're increasing over to paying off consumer debt, you're able to break these things down in bite-sized increments to pay them off. Here's another thing that you want to do when you're paying off consumer debt. Use your debit cards or cash for all purchases. And some of y'all really need to use cash because you're not managing your debit card, because you just swiping and swiping and you paying $39 bounce check fees because you using your debit card. Oh, I thought I had $100 in there. You should have just pulled cash out. You should just went to your bank, pulled out $100 and said, I'm gonna keep this $100 cash on me and this is how I'm gonna spend my money. So you have to start doing things different. This is about behavior. This is about the way you see money. This is about the relationship you have with money. And these are the things that you got to start doing if, in fact, you want to pay off consumer debt. Here's some things you want to avoid. Avoid credit cards. Avoid credit cards. Me and my wife, I think we might have 2 or 3 credit cards that we kept, but they all paid off. Like it's 0%, it's a 0%, it's a zero balance on it. So we just keep it because sometimes, like when we rent cars, when we go to hotels, every once in a while somebody will say, oh, we need a real credit card. You know what I mean? Or we can't use a debit card for this. We need a credit card. So we always keep 1 or 2, but we don't even use it. Now we have plenty offers. Almost every week we probably get something in the mail from Discover, from Capital One, from Credit One, from First Premier. We get it from our bank. We get it from American Express. We get it from all these companies. And guess what? Nope. Number one, we're not getting in credit card debt no more because that's consumer debt. Now, I'll get into debt, but it's going to be capital debt, meaning that I'll get some debt for my business so that I can grow my business. I'll get some debt for real estate or for some type of investment opportunity because I know I can leverage that debt. That's capital debt. That's different than consumer debt. But when you're working towards paying off consumer debt, avoid credit cards. Avoid them. And guess what? I know we hear that old saying, oh, just rip up your credit cards or cut them. That ain't going to change your mindset. Tearing up your credit card is not going to fix your mind. It's a mindset problem you have. But you want to avoid credit cards. You want to avoid payday loans. You want to avoid payday loans. You shouldn't be getting no payday loan. What you should be, like, it's just no way a human being should go get a payday loan and then they work 5 days a week and they don't do nothing on their 2 days off. But you going to get a doggone loan. If you don't get your behind up them 2 days you off and go find another job or go find a side hustle, you just got to do what you got to do until you could do what you want to do. Don't give yourself the option of saying, oh, I could just take one of my post-dated checks to a payday loan person. You're putting yourself in the hole. You putting yourself in the hole. You need to hold yourself to a high level of accountability. And God knows you around here with a payday loan and you got designer clothes. You got jewelry. You got anything in your house that you can sell. A TV. Go sell the TV. Go get you $30 for that flat screen. I'll sell my bed. Give me $80 for my bed set. Hey, I'll rather sleep on the floor than be in the hole for another 3 years. Because a lot of these things we put ourselves in, you never get out. Most people never get out of credit card debt. I know people who've had payday loans for years. They paying that hot $100-something a month interest, and because they're never able to pay off the principal. Because they're not changing their financial habits. Their mindset is not changing. So there's no way you shouldn't have that. And avoid buy here, pay here loans. You know what buy here, pay here loans is. Like you go to the car lot, you get a buy here, pay here. They finance your car. Well, the truth is you probably can't afford to pay $9,000 for a $1,500 car. Have you ever thought about that? Like as much as I hate MARTA, I'd rather you just pay MARTA and take the MARTA bus. or pay Uber, then you be around here paying $800 a month for a $1,500 car for the next 2.5 years because they charging you like 35% interest on a lemon that you know is going to break down in a year. It ain't even going to last 1.5 years. So you want to avoid those things. Now here are some course recommendations that I give for step number 2. We have a course on financial freedom. We teach you like these 6 steps that we typically use to minimize your taxes, maximize your deductions. We show you how to increase your income, eliminate your debt like we're doing now, repair your credit. I don't talk a whole lot about credit repair. There are people who are experts at credit repair. And the reason why I don't talk a lot about credit repair because you shouldn't be trying to build your life around good credit. That ain't what's going to get you wealthy. I don't know why people think that. Oh, I got an 800 credit score. And what does that mean? It don't mean you rich. And it don't mean you get a loan. I know people that got 700, 800 credit scores that can't walk in the bank and get a loan. You know why? Not because they got bad credit. Because they don't have enough income. They don't have enough income. So you can have an 850 credit score. It doesn't mean you can get a loan for your business because they're going to look at your what? Income. We have an in-house lender for our real estate business. You can fill out the real estate form, the mortgage form, and have an 850 credit score. The next question Letice and my wife going to ask you is, let me see them W-2s. Because we want to see the last 2 years of what? Income, tax returns, duh. So income needs to be your priority, not credit and not debt. But we just want to move the debt that's consuming our income, if that makes sense. So a lot of people are like, oh, I got to get out of debt. I got all this debt. No, you need to just get out of the debt that's overwhelming your income right now. So you got a lot of old debt, right? Let's say if you got a lot of old debt. If you got a lot of old debt that you ain't paid off yet, but you have a lot of new debt that is taking your income, because a lot of old debt, most people ain't paying it. You just owe them, right? They just keep calling you. The collection agencies keep calling you. Yes, at some point you want to pay that off, but that's not what you should be focusing on right now. You need to be focusing on increasing your income and taking the remaining income after saving $1,000 or after saving a month of expenses and start moving it towards bills or expenses that's taking your income. Because old debt is not taking most of y'all income. Some of y'all got debt from 1988, from 1999, from 2012. You ain't paying that right now. So that's not debt that's consuming you. It might be on your credit report. It might affect your ability to get a loan. But at this point in you trying to get your money up, you ain't thinking about no loan. You shouldn't even be thinking about no doggone credit report. You should be thinking about increasing income. And as you increase income, eliminate any debt or any expenses or any bills that's consuming the income that I'm continuing to work on increasing. And then once you move the current debt out the way that you shouldn't be paying, then you can say, oh, I'm actually doing step 2. Then you could get to step 3. For those of you that's listening to me, if I am making sense to you, please give me some feedback in the comments. I hope you understand what I just mentioned and how I just explained paying off consumer debt. Did I understand? Did I make that understandable? Yeah, I did. Made it clear? Okay, somebody give me some feedback. So you understand the difference between consumer debt and capital debt. And debt that's consuming your income right now is not this $18,000 car loan that you got repossessed that's still on your credit report. That's not debt that's consuming your income right now, unless you got a judgment and they taking money out your account. But other than that, it's not consuming your income. Oh, I just got to get my credit score up. So you got $38,000 worth of debt on your credit report that you ain't paying nothing on. You just owe that. So you finna stop your whole life to go try to pay that $38,000. No. Y'all gonna get that when I got it. Right now, I'm trying to move this $18,000 worth of debt between credit cards and car notes that's taking my money now, because I need that extra money every month to start putting up to help me increase my net worth so I can move forward. That's how you do that. Now, some people may tell you to do it differently, but I'm telling you how to do it. I'm telling you how I did it. Because I owed a lot of people. And here's the thing, you can owe people and still go get a car. They give you cars when you go bankrupt, when you foreclose, when you get repossessions. There's still a lot of things that you still can get. But you shouldn't be worrying about that right now. You should be focusing on step one is what? Let me get to $1,000 that I can save that I don't have to go back and take $200 from in 2 weeks. If you can save $1,000 and it's not a big issue, then put 1 month of total household expenses up then. That might be 3 or 4 for you. If you got it, put it up. But then you go to step 2. Let me look at all the bills and expenses that I have every month and let me see what is consuming my income. Where is all my income going? And if that income is going towards debt that you know you have currently, because now if I sit down with you and you tell me, okay, I make this amount every month, profit, Ramon, and this is what my bills are every month, and I see a whole lot of that money is going towards 10-year-old debt, 8-year-old debt that you can actually just put off until you put yourself in a better financial position, I might bop you across your head, tell you goofy, and then give you a better strategy. Because there's no reason why you should be focusing on that right now. You need to be looking forward. You need to be moving forward. Doesn't mean you don't have integrity. Doesn't mean you're not concerned about it. Doesn't mean you don't want to go back and fix it. But what it means is you need to focus on what's consuming your income. Let me give y'all step 3, because this is going to be my last conversation on this. Tomorrow I got something else I want to talk about. So let's look at step 3. What is the third step? The third step, and as I told you, this is the 5-step financial freedom plan that I'm giving you, but it's actually the blueprint game plan. These are the same 5 steps that I teach our students in our online training program, but I'm not just showing you what you need to do, I'm actually teaching you on how you can actually do it and what are the strategies and tactics behind it. So let's say you save $1,000, you do step 1. Then you go to step 2 and you pay off all consumer debt. Well, whatever the dollar amount is that you're no longer paying in consumer debt or blowing or wasting or goofing off with, whatever that dollar amount is, you need to go to step 3 and start putting that, adding to that 1,000. My recommendation is you save at least 6 months of total household expenses. That's where you want to get to. So that means if your total household expenses outside of the debt, outside of the garbage that you wasting money on, don't tell me, oh, I got $5,000 a month expenses and $2,000 in shopping and eating out. If you don't sit down somewhere, you got $3,000 worth of things you gotta pay. I gotta pay rent, I gotta pay lights, I gotta have a phone, I need insurance, I gotta take care of my kids, I got A, B, C, D, E, but other than that, I'm just living off the bare minimum. Whatever that total is, you wanna save at least six months. Now, the reason why I added 12 months because our program is catered to not just individuals, but entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur, especially if you want to go full-time in business, unless you just extremely aggressive and you just ridiculously crazy like somebody like me, you better not go full-time without saving money for emergencies. You should already have a reserves. Now, everybody won't do that. Some people are bold enough and aggressive enough and they're, determined enough and skilled enough that they can go out there and make it happen without it. But I'm telling you, I was one of those people. I just jumped out there broke. I was like, I ain't got no other choice. I got to make it happen. But let me tell you something. The moment I was able to save 6 to 12 months of total household expenses, my whole mindset was different, because I thought to myself when I first did it, wow, at least I ain't got to worry about nothing if the bottom fall out, or if I don't get a commission, or if a door don't open, or if I don't get a business deal. At least I know my worst case scenario, I can pull 2 months from that 6 or 12 and ride it for 60 days to reset myself and figure it out. So typically you want to work on saving at least 6 months. Some people tell you, oh, you just need 3 months. Yeah, that was before Corona. People were saying that before March of 2020. When March of 2020 came and we got into this quarantine, and then we found ourselves in this pandemic, the people who had 3 months saved realized real quick that was not enough. The people who had 6 months realized, oof, man, I should have had 12. Because the people who had 12 was probably thinking, man, I should have had 24. So if you're not an entrepreneur, 6 months could be good. But if you're a business owner or a minister, you're an independent contractor, you need to work towards having at least 12 months, because your business is more volatile. Your business has a lot more risk in it. If you got a job and you work and you go home every day, you're just trying to get your money up and figure out new ways to create opportunities, then 6 months, but at least 12 months, okay? Now, here are some things that I give you as a breakdown that you can do for step 3. You can use the income recaptured through paying off debt in step 2. So remember, when you pay off debt, let's say if you're paying a credit card and the credit card is $45 a month or $25 a month, and it's a $300 credit card. Don't pay the $300 credit card off and then be like, oh, I got $25 a month free. No, add that $25 to paying off another bill or towards putting it in your savings account to get that number up. I'm telling you, if you want security, if you want stability, if you want success in your business and in your finances, you're gonna have to figure out steps like this, and you're gonna have to dedicate and commit yourself to it. I promise you, there's no other way it's gonna work. Otherwise, you're gonna be like 99% of the world, around here praying with their fingers crossed, hoping the universe, for these weirdos, or hoping God does something for you, and then when it never happens, you like, man, what happened? The universe ain't working for me. Karma, she's something else. No, it ain't the universe or karma. And for you church folks, it ain't God. It's you and I not developing the habits mentally and practically on what we need to do with our money. We just not doing it. So use your income. Here's another part of this breakdown. Save enough for emergencies first, then invest for the future. Man, this is so much game I'm giving y'all. Do you see this second bullet? I'm ready to just snap. Do you see this second bullet? Save enough for emergencies first, then invest for the future. I hope I ain't talking to somebody that's watching me, but I'm going to tell you the type of people that get on my nerves. Every time tax time come, here they come calling me. I want to invest. And I be thinking, first of all, you got them hot $5,000, $6,000. You're in debt. You don't even have money saved. And people who get all these big windfalls throughout the year, you put money up, but then you go back and get it within 3 weeks. If that, probably the next week. So when you're saving money, don't start, oh, what can I go invest in? You don't need to be investing at this level. You need to be saving. Another way of saying it is you need to store your money for a score. So I would rather, like, I have money that I want to invest in certain things right now. You think I'm investing it? No, because I haven't found the right investments. And number two, it just feels good to know I got money that I don't need. So I'll rather just keep it and wait. At least it's stored. At least it's stored. So I'm not leaving it there saying, oh, I ain't gonna never invest that money. But at the saving stage, I need to save for emergencies first. I don't need to start investing. Well, I'm gonna go and take this 1,000 and put it in cryptocurrency. You stupid. Well, I'm going to take this $1,000 and invest in a Rolex because it appreciates. You goofy. Well, I'm going to take this $1,000 and I'm going to invest in me buying a house because your house is an asset. No, it ain't. Your house is not an asset. Oh, I'm sorry. It's an asset to the bank, but it ain't an asset to you. Because the bank is getting cash flow every month from that house. You ain't getting no doggone cash flow. Well, I got a home office, so that's an asset. You reaching now. People always reaching, trying to justify their lack of discipline and responsibility to really create financial freedom for themselves. I'm telling you, if you just listened to me and did what I'm telling you to do, your life is going to be better. Most people don't do that. Most people ain't going to listen to somebody like me and do it. What they're going to do is, well, I see his 5 steps, but what I'll do in step 1 is, or what I'll do in step 2, or what I'm going to do in step 3 is, I'm going to just do 20% of that. That's why you never get to freedom, because you always trying to finesse somebody else's success. If somebody has done something and they succeeded, why don't you do it the way they did it? I do the same thing. Everything that I do, I'm doing, and I got better at doing it because I'm listening to people who actually did it. Not who capping and faking on the internet like they did it, and they're actually in the business of selling me their dream. So save enough for emergencies first, then invest for the future. My last point here is, don't confuse the money for emergencies with money for investments. Because this money is not for investments, this money is for emergencies. And it don't have to be like a bad emergency. It can just be something you want to do that you just know, I have the money to do it. It could just be, you know what, I'm going to just take 200 of these dollars and I'm going to just get away for a day. Or I'm going to just do something special for myself on my birthday. Well, it's better for you to know you're able to do that than, okay, I'm going to have to struggle for another 2 months just to do this thing because I didn't do my due diligence in the process. So don't confuse the money for emergencies with money for investment. So some of you might be saying, well, Prophet Ramon, are you saying that I don't need to invest? Nope, you don't. You're not ready to invest. What you need to be investing in, here's what you need to invest in. Number 1, you need to invest in yourself. And I ain't talking about dressing good. Invest in dressing your brain with information. Dress your mind with learning. That's the first investment you want to make. Then when you invest in yourself, you want to invest in your financial or your business situation. So now I got to invest in my own finances. What do you mean invest in my finances? I need to invest in making sure that I can manage my money properly, have a bank account, have a savings account, learn how to put money up. I want to invest in maybe starting my own business, having my LLC done right. That's what you want to invest in. Then when you're able to successfully do that, then you invest in other things that can create new income. It's just ridiculous for people to be around here broke with no money in savings, no credit score, no nothing, no new income. And they like, oh, well, I own 3 shares of Amazon. Well, I actually got 4 shares of Apple. Are you serious? You have no business even trying to, you're not making any money. Oh, well, I have this investment opportunity that's going to give me 100% return. Okay, well, if you invest $500 into that, what is 100% return? $1,000? So you did all that to make 500 hot dollars. Because people start throwing those numbers out. Oh, you'll get 100% return. You'll get an 80% return on this. Yeah, but how much money are you investing? If I invest $1,000 into something and I get 1,000% return, that's only $10,000. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough to change my life. So I would be better off taking that 1,000, putting it in saving or storage, learning to repeat the process until I can figure out a way to make that 1,000 10. And then that 10, 15, and then that 15, 20, and then that 20, 22, and then that 22, 28, and then that 28, 31. That's how you get to where you're going. This is not a rat race or a rabbit race. It's actually a marathon, okay? So we teach you courses in our blueprint, how to properly start your business, structure it the right way, how to scale it with the right systems, how to brand yourself, how to create products with your ideas. All that we teach because we want that to complement step number 3. Let me get through this. I only got 15 more minutes because I got a 1 o'clock appointment, don't I? Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. Goofy, goofy. This is the hardest step right here. It took me and my wife some time to get to step 4. But once we got to step 4, like every 6 months, you know it, because probably every 4-5 months we talk about moving, don't we? Oh, we gonna move. Yeah, we gonna move. We gonna go and get us a little $1 million mansion, and we gonna this, that, and the other, until we sit down and do the math. And here's what's crazy. I'll be talking about it, then she'll be talking about it, and then she'll be showing me properties. We looking at $1 million properties, right? So we'll look at them. Oh yeah, we want to be able to walk out the back and walk into a pool. We want a private gate. Now we're in a nice community. It's like, okay, but we just dreaming right now, right? And then within a day or two, we be all pumped. Then we going on date night. Then we finna ride around a few communities. Oh, they nice. Oh my God. Get that agent number there, because that house is for sale right there. Oh, that one for lease. So we get all this information. We go back. We can get on the system and see everybody's information, right? And then like 3-4 days later, she's like, honey, I'm gonna just be honest with you. And I already know what she's saying, because I'm thinking, yeah, man, that mortgage might be like $8,000 a month. $9,000 or $10,000. I'm thinking, but what can I do with that money? Then I'm putting it against what we trying to do, and we want to stay under that 40% rule. I'm like, nah, we just gonna stay here. So we living way beneath our means, but we forced ourselves to do that. And now y'all listening to me, you don't know what my personal financial situation is, but what you should know is I can afford to live in something different than what me and my wife living in, if I wanted to. I mean, we moved out of a big 5-bedroom house to live in a 1-bedroom condominium here in Buckhead. We don't have to be there. But why have we been there for almost 4 years? Because we made a conscious business and financial decision almost 4 years ago that we wanted to be wealthy. And we wanted to make sure that whatever we needed to do, we were willing to do it until we got to where we want to be. Got a question?
Yeah, where would you hold the 6 to 12 months of reserves and bank account, IRA, etc. for NIN business owners?
I would hold it in a bank account, particularly a savings account. I would hold it in a savings account. The reason why is because you want it to be liquid. If it's in an IRA or a 401k, it's really not that liquid. It's really not that. It's more liquid than maybe in a piece of real estate, but you just want to store the money. You want to store it, okay? That money is just being stored. So if you put something in storage, right, can't you go get it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in storage. You got a key. When me and my wife had that flood, we was living across the street in the JW. Remember we was there? We stayed there for like 10 weeks. We was in that hotel for 10 weeks. And all our stuff was in storage. So like every day we had the storage laid out so we can just walk inside, get what we need to get, go back to the hotel, switch stuff out. We had like 3 of those roller hangers in the room. But my point is, put the money in storage, put it in a checking account or a savings account. I have some accounts that I do certain business in that I don't even have a savings account for. I just have a checking account and I just leave the money in the checking account because I don't need a savings account. I just need that money stored because I'm disciplined enough not to use it. A lot of people be trying to hide their money because they know they're not disciplined. So if you're disciplined, having that money sit in a checking account. So when my wife shows me my financial statement every day and I look at my checking accounts, she's going to let me know, okay, this is what's spendable. This money is not there because that money is actually going to be taken out this week for bills. That money there is just money that's stored. So you say you just want that to be there. So if I'm just not good, say what now?
This is for Starbucks.
And this is for Starbucks, right? So if this money is over there, that dollar amount, whether it's 2,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 or 100,000, you should be disciplined to know I'm not using it. Or you can just push it to a savings account to know that it's there. But you need to do that. Putting it in retirement accounts is just, it doesn't make sense. Because you don't want to trick yourself either. So there are people who got 401ks right now, and they got like IRAs or certain retirement accounts, and they might have 20 grand in it, they might have 60 grand, and they've tricked themselves into thinking, oh, I got $80,000 saved. No, you don't. You have $80,000 worth of value in that 401k, but if you were to liquidate it tomorrow, that 80,000 will turn into 28 that quick. Because they probably wouldn't match it on the exit, or you're not at your retirement. So don't trick yourself into saying, oh, I got 80 grand saved. No, you don't. You got $80,000 worth of retirement as it is today. Savings is what's in a savings account that I can actually go there tomorrow and say, I want to close my savings account and get my 80 grand. That's 80,000 saved. So you want to make sure that it's liquid enough so in the event that you need it for something, it's there for an emergency. Because if you have an emergency today, you can't call your IRA administrator and say, can I get 20 of that now? They're going to be like, sir, it's a process. Ma'am, you have to wait 2 weeks. You have to fill out the application. We have to submit it, blah, 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 blah. 3-4 working days, business days, or whatever. You can go to your bank and be like, hey, I got 80 grand in my savings account. I need 30 of it today. You can go do that. So that's how you want to do it. Step 4 is the 40% rule. This is the hardest. I'm telling you, this is the hardest. Me and my wife, this was the hardest thing to do. Think about it. When you get to step 4, you have increased your income enough that you can actually take 40% of your income and put it up. Meaning you can live off 60% of your income, whether that's net or gross. Most of the time it's going to be 40% of your net, but that's still a lot when you have not put yourself in the mindset to do that. So that means if you bring home $2,000 a month, right? Let's say if you bring home $2,000 a month, 2,000 minus 40%, 40% is $800. So in order for you to live off the 40% rule, you really have to live off $1,200 a month. Now, guess what? You got another problem. You can't live off $1,200 a month. So what should that tell you? You're not making enough. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I got people on my team that get it. You're not making enough money. So now, if you need $2,000 to live, now you might need to make, let's say, $4,000 minus 40%. Now that's $2,400. $3,800 minus 40%. $3,500 minus, I don't know what the number is. So let's say if you live off $2,000 a month, if it takes $2,000 to live, well, you can't make $2,000 and put $800 up. Now you got to make $3,400 a month. So now you got to figure out, how can I find $1,400 more dollars in order to put 40% up and still pay my current bills. So you see, you can't change your lifestyle. When me and my wife figured this out, we was like, we ain't finna move. Now, if we didn't live by this, we would have probably been in $1 million house right now. Because we wouldn't have been doing the math. We would have been like, oh, we can afford it because you should pay 1/3, because that's what middle class people tell you. Oh, as long as you're not paying more than 30% of your income, you good. Yeah, but who want to live that close to like broke? That's how me and my wife used to live. Oh, your payments can be this every month because of what you get in. You can afford this every month in an apartment or a house because this is how much you make. And then we get to the end of the month and we like, but wait, go back to step 2. All our income is being consumed by Range Rovers, Mercedes, houses, cars, and all this stuff. We like, this ain't right. And that's when I realized it's because I don't have the right information. I'm living like everybody else living. So what I got to do is reset my mind, learn something different. You got to get that 40% rule. Most people, and Uncle G, he teaches this. He was the first person I ever heard say it. When I heard him say talk about the 40% rule, it wasn't until after I listened to him and heard him say it a couple years ago that I started doing some research and realized, oh, this is like something wealthy people live by. This is like a big wealth principle. I'm thinking, shoot, this finna be one of my steps. Shoot, I'm finna go and steal that. But trying to live by it was the hardest thing, because me and my wife every month was like, oh my God, do we give something up or do we figure out a way to make money? Then we give something up and we like, man, I don't want to get that up. We'll go make some more money. Then we make more money and we like, can I buy more? No, you can't buy more. Then you make more money. It's like, can I buy more? No, because you got to deduct 40 of that and move it and act like you didn't have it. Then you live, I'm like, wow, this is hard. But we've done it for so long now, still living in the same place. We still got one car. And here's the thing. What is it, 2021? 10 years ago, I was not the person, or I didn't have the discipline to be able to do that. Because I wanted me a Range Rover. I wanted to live in a nice house so I can let the garage up and you pull up and you see my nice cars and we grilling outside and you struggling. A hot mess. And you ain't got nothing. It's crazy. You got $500,000 sitting in the house and cars and you ain't got 50 grand sitting in the bank. Something wrong with that picture. Well, I saw something was wrong with it and I had to change it. So step 4 is the 40% rule. Okay? So I break it down to kind of give you an idea of how each percent should be thought through in your mind. So you should, out of that 40, you should look at 15% of your income for employer-sponsored retirement programs, investment firms, or personal investment strategies. So the reason why I add that, because a lot of our clients, they still work on jobs and they still have not transitioned into full-time entrepreneurs. So a lot of times, because I know they don't understand real estate investing, I kind of compromise to say, well, you know what, at least let 15% go out to your employer-sponsored retirement program. Even if you come back and get it, at least you built the muscle to understand I need to take 40% and move it aside. So if you don't have a W-2 or if you don't have an employee-sponsored program, that's going to be 15% liquid you set aside. You need to set that aside. Then 15% of your income, it may be to pay off your home or to have a down payment for a future home. But again, when you got money saved, you can do what you want to do. 10% should be income to store for a score with business opportunities. So that's a total of 40%. And I give you some classes on our blueprint that you can take. Our financial class and our real estate investing class, especially if you're interested in learning what do I do with all this money when I start getting to a point that I got more money than I need for emergencies and I want to start investing it. But you should wait till you get to that point. You shouldn't be trying to invest and you ain't got to that point unless you just know this is a part of my business opportunity or my entrepreneurial opportunity, okay? And step 5, I gotta go, y'all. Step 5, come on somebody, is for you to get wealthy, be a blessing, and build a legacy of wealth. This is where we teach a lot about the holding company concept. We teach you how to diversify through investing in real estate. Some of you can invest in mutual funds or growth stocks. Those are some of the common ones. I have a few friends that invest in mutual funds and growth stocks. They used to always try to get me to invest in. I was like, nah, I ain't with that. I don't know nothing about it. But I can honestly say, if you're going to invest in those things, I have friends that have done very well in mutual funds and growth stocks or any income producing asset. For me, I want to put my money in real estate when I make investments. And then we want to show you how to develop divisions and subsidiaries that reflect your company philosophy and legacy, meaning that we show you how to create holding companies and how to build divisions and subsidiaries out so that when you start making that income and you want to figure out, what do I do with that income? There are certain pre-tax, non-taxable events, if that makes sense. So let me explain to you before I go. If you have a holding company and you got operating companies under it, and your operating companies are making money, well, the money that they make, when you push it up to your holding company didn't pay taxes on it yet. So that's like pre-tax revenue, right? There are certain non-taxable events, meaning that your holding company can take that money and reallocate it into certain investments and or expenses, some of which could be non-taxable events. That's how you diversify and you develop a massive business conglomerate that starts creating this multiplication of your finances and of your resources. So for those of you that are interested in more information, and you would like to be a part of our coaching or our online training program, we have an amazing offer, and I really want you to take advantage of that. If I can pull it up. Can I pull it up? Let me see. I think I had it. There it is. That's the price sheet. Is that the right one? Bada bing, bada boom. So right here, I'm showing you a picture of an image of our 1-year business coaching program. It is a $5,000 program for 1 year. We offer a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, and 12-month payment plan option. So we start this program off with you by providing an initial one-on-one coaching session. So in that initial one-on-one coaching session, it could be in person or via Zoom, and we're gonna walk you through our coaching session process, meaning that we're going to help you identify with what you want to accomplish in your business, in your personal life, in your financial life. And once we identify with the goals, the things that you want to accomplish, we're going to help you identify with what systems or processes that best fit this game plan we put together for you. Once we identify with that, we'll put that game plan together and we'll implement it and execute it so that we can put you on a 52-week coaching program path. We're going to complement that initial one-on-one coaching session with 52 weeks of live Zoom coaching calls every Monday, 5 o'clock, like today. We're going to have live Zoom coaching calls. You're going to be able to come on. I'll be discussing certain topics and items that are relevant and relative to what you and other business owners are dealing with. And we have a Q&A where we answer any question that you have. It might be something you're dealing with on your job, in your business, in your finances. We answer that question. We have 52 weeks of virtual training assignments. So every week there's something that we are challenging you to learn and to do. We provide quarterly group coaching masterminds, quarterly VIP workshops. These masterminds are deep dives into things that you as a business owner may be dealing with or may be in need to learn more about. Our VIP workshops are centered around the 4 pillars of business success: sales, marketing, holding companies, and financial strategies. Every client in our 1-year business coaching program, we provide a personal coaching coordinator, which means you got somebody you can text, you can call if you need some information, if you have a glitch in your training or something goes on, you got a coaching coordinator. We also give you 1 year free access to our business and financial online training program. It's called our Blueprint Game Plan. You get it for free for 1 year. We also give you access to our private exclusive Facebook group. So all of that comes with our 1 year business coaching program. If you want to be a part of it, all you have to do is text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. And we will reach back out to you as soon as possible once we get the text. And we will walk you through a brief assessment over the phone so that we can make sure we understand what you want to accomplish and connect you to the products and services within our program that best fit that criteria. And once we process whatever your payment is, we will schedule your first initial one-on-one coaching session. All right, so just text the word coaching to 404-478-7213. Let's see here. Is that Where's my other one? Is that group or, oh, that's my individual right there. So also, this is a new offer that we're introducing. Just in case you don't necessarily feel the need to have a 1-year coaching program. Let's just say you don't need 1 year of coaching. You don't want the 4 masterminds. You don't want the 4 workshops. You don't necessarily need an initial one-on-one coaching session. Well, we provide individual training and coaching through our Blueprint Game Plan. This is our online training program. So this is a $2,500 program that you can actually get access for 1 year to our Blueprint Game Plan plus weekly coaching, which means for half of the price of our coaching program, you can have access for 1 year to our online training, which we provide training on financial literacy, entrepreneurship, holding companies, business ownership, executive systems. We teach financial strategies, tax strategies, real estate investing, goal setting, nonprofit startups. All of that is in our Blueprint Game Plan. So for half the price of the coaching, you can actually get access for 1 year, and you have the option to either take advantage of our Blueprint Game Plan for $1,500 for the year, or you can get the Blueprint Game Plan plus coaching for $2,500 for the year. And we have payment plan options. We have a one-time payment plan, Blueprint plus coaching for $2,500. Blueprint without coaching, $1,500. We have a 12-month payment plan for both. We have a 24-month payment plan for both. And this is a new offer. I think this is the first time I shared it. We have a 36-month payment plan. So you may want access to the Blueprint for 3 years. Well, we're giving you access to that for 3 years plus coaching, or just the Blueprint itself for 3 years, whichever you want. One-time payment, 12-month, 24-month, 36-month. So all you have to do is text the word Blueprint to 404-478-7213. So if you text the word Blueprint, we'll reach back out to you and share with you more of the benefits that and the programs and courses and training that are in our Blueprint. If you text coaching, we will discuss the details and the benefits of our coaching program. Either way, we want to help you properly start, structure, and scale your business, your ministry, your income streams, your wealth building dreams. So tomorrow we're going to have a new discussion. It's going to be amazing. Don't meet me here, beat me here. Same place, same time, right here on the Ramonepreston Show. I love you. Have an amazing day. Peace out.